Seeing the current condition of this room, can I have room '09 now?
I already explained that I can't. I'm awaiting a huge influx of tourists in the next few days, and I need that room. If you could wait just a few minutes, I will clean everything up like it was before. Then, as compensation, I won't make you pay from tomorrow night on.
Actually, I just wanted to stay for tonight. It'd be enough if you returned the money I already gave you.
Boy, don't push it. That is my offer. Take it or leave it.
Your kindness astounds me. Seems I can't do anything other than accept it.
Wise choice. Now, if you can clear out, I have to clean up the room. If you give me the key back, I'll clean up everything and give it back to you at the entrance. I'll take a moment. Using the back door, I'll be at the entrance before you arrive.
Thanks, my good man.
You chose room number 10. It's the only key you can take.
Technically, it wasn't exactly a choice.
It doesn't change the fact that you can only take the key to room number 10.
All right. I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. I have to wait for the room to be cleaned up, and for the innkeeper to give me the key. Better go back to the entrance. Have you already cleaned up the room?
Yes, everything's in order again. Here's the key.
Okay, thanks.
And you have all the services of the Dead Man Inn at your disposal.
Like what, for example?
The most important one is room service. And following that, the Do Not Disturb.
How does the room service work?
When the customers call, it is the duty of every good innkeeper to answer. I try to be as fast as possible so as to not leave my position untended. If you don't see me at the counter, it's because some impediment forced me to use the back door. There are a lot of steps to get there. Going down is not a problem and speeds up my movement, but climbing really slows me down.
Thanks, that seems clear to me. What's the Do Not Disturb?
It's this amazing object. Only paper of the highest quality for our customers. With the writing, Do Not Disturb, in giant letters. You just have to hang this on the door, and I'll know you don't want to be disturbed. Here, take it.
Thanks, very useful. Thanks, and goodbye. You hang this outside your hotel room to note that you don't want to be disturbed. I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. It's summer. It doesn't make any sense to heat up an already warm room.
What now? Oh, that must be the new guest. I saw straight away that he was a troublemaker. Better go check. I wonder when the cleaning lady is going to fix this disaster. Actually, I wonder when I last saw the cleaning lady. I don't think I've seen her at work since our discussion about the hourly rate. I'm sure she'll come back. Nobody can refuse $1 per hour. Better check what's happening in room number 10. Can I help you?
I'm testing the room service. Excellent service.
Also the price. Maybe I forgot to tell you that after a certain number of calls, an extra fee is triggered.
Cordial as usual.
If there's nothing else, I'll get back to my business.
Everything's okay, thanks. I'd rather not go around the city at night. You never know. I'd rather wait for daylight, or at least the moon to become brighter. Let's see if I can. Done. This sign is useless now. I'd rather not take it with me. The things I have to do. Let's just hope it doesn't spill. I wouldn't really know what to use to get rid of this stink. That might be a good idea, but not without knowing the contents of both. I'd rather not try experiments like that in my bag. What if there is a reaction of some sort? I don't want to ruin it. The stink from this bucket is already bad enough. Usually it's used to point out that the floor is wet. It's filled with an oily substance. The smell makes me quite nauseous. Just how I pictured it. Very good. It looks like the cleaning has finally started. And now something classy. The contents haven't changed, but now there's a fresh musk ox scent.
Agile and silent like a ninja. I didn't even realize the cleaning lady finally got to work. Better not walk across it. I'd risk ruining this beautiful work. Oh, she also added the essence of muskox. My favorite. I'll go around the back. That guy's gonna have to wait for a second.
Nobody's coming. Better go check the entrance. I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. Locked. Better not go inside. If the innkeeper finds out, I'd be concerned for my safety. This is my chance. Let's hope there won't be any other obstacles. At last! I don't trust taking them. There's the chance they could have been eaten by mice, the owner of the place, or the cleaning lady. In any of the 3 cases, I don't want to take them with me. Everything starts there, in the warmth of a friendly place. I think my father meant warmth in a literal sense. Perhaps he hid something in the fireplace. Let's try searching there. What is this? This brick doesn't seem to be bonded to the fireplace like all the others, but I can't rip it out. It seems after all these years it is partially calcified back into the fireplace. I need something to grab hold of the cracks. I can't do this. Maybe the temperature variations made it stick. I need some help. I don't need it right now. Look what's inside. Somebody forgot a nail file. Better take it. It could come in handy. Tough luck. Fate really doesn't want me to take a shower or a bath. Tradition tells us it's better not to spy on showers with the curtain closed. It seems to be working. I can take out the mortar holding the brick. Clever, a niche. Let's see what's inside. It looks like an old library card. It belonged to my father, Henry Morgan. Last read book, Properties of Concrete. What did my father want to tell me? It's a card for the Bonetown Library. The card belongs to Henry Morgan, my father. Let's see the last read book, Properties of Concrete. What was he working on in his final research? Better go to the library to make some inquiries. That doesn't seem like a good idea. If the owner finds out I entered room 09, I don't think he'll be happy. If anything happens to me, the Dead Man Inn has no insurance to cover the damages. In this room, they seem to have taken one step ahead in technology. No rope to pull. After this amazing night, it'd be better to go back to my room and rest. First, I'd rather take the key to room 09 back to reception. I'd prefer to avoid having problems with the innkeeper. I have a really big day ahead of me tomorrow. I think the time has come to find out what Dad was working on. I better check the library card again. I'm sure Dad left me some other clue. It's a card for the Bonetown Library. The card belongs to Henry Morgan, my father. Let's see the last read book, Properties of Concrete. What was he working on in his final research? Better go to the library to make some inquiries. I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. Good morning, good sir.
Good morning. How was your night?
There were moments I thought I wouldn't survive. Then I saw a ray of light and realized that the worst was over.
These are just some of the thrills you can experience here at the Dead Man Inn.
What happened to Bonetown in the last few years? I remember when I used to come here that it was a nice little town.
I think it's just progress. The young prefer to go try their luck elsewhere, apart from a few exceptions. It's just down to us from the older generation to keep up the honor of Bonetown by welcoming the incoming tourists with love and professionalism.
I'd have to dispute that, actually. Is the public library still there?
Sure, boy. It's one of the crown jewels of Bonetown. At least it is according to what Margaret, our librarian, tells us. I'm simply reporting what's said because I personally never go to such places.
Strange. I would have bet the opposite. Could you tell me where it is?
Turn left at the main square, just outside the door. Boy, if you don't want to get lost, use this. It's an old Bonetown postcard, but it was used as a tourist map during the golden years. It could be of use to orient yourself and move around Bonetown.
Thank you.
Are you interested in something in particular?
Just to reminisce a little bit. My father used to take me there all the time. Thanks, and goodbye. Better leave the key here. I don't know if I'll want to avail myself of this service again tonight. There you go. Now I can leave. I don't need it. It looks new. At first glance, there seem to be different tomes, some of which have considerable value too. I wonder why they're out here. I don't want to take anything from here. It's still material in the public domain. Wow, there are some extremely rare first editions here. Better not. It's like seeing my house. Even if I picked everything up, then it would suffer the same fate in our closet at home. I don't need them. It's one of those old message boards on which they hung the wanted posters. Here in Bonetown, time seems to have stopped. There are still posters of the gang that was raging here decades ago. The members have become famous. I recognize the posters of Rufy, Nami, and Zoro. The others are faded from exposure to bad weather. There's also a little footnote. Posters offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. It's the front door of Bonetown's library. I don't think I need this kind of souvenir. It's the public library of Bonetown. I never imagined it would have survived, given the state of the town. I'm not doing any research in particular right now. If in the future I have to conduct some new research, there are some tomes here that you can't easily find in other libraries. I think it's the person running the library. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
What happened to Bonetown in the last few years?
The city has always held more allure, at the expense of the small villages, and Bonetown is no exception. All the young people left when they had the chance, leaving the town in its current sorry state. It seems you know our town well, although you're so young. Can I ask your name?
Of course. I'm Willy Morgan.
I'm Margaret Teach. But for those who attend the library, I'm just Margaret. Once there was a Morgan here in Bonetown too. Then he left, seeking fortune, and he became famous. But he never stopped coming back to visit Bonetown. I don't think you know him.
You mean Henry Morgan by any chance?
You surprise me, and that doesn't happen often.
The point is, I know him very well. Henry was my father.
I'm sorry, kid, I didn't know.
Don't worry, it's been a while.
10 years ago, right?
How do you know that?
Kid, I'm the librarian. I basically remember everything that is put on paper, and Henry used to come to our library a lot.
Do you know anything about his disappearance?
Unfortunately, only what I've read about. One night he was here in Bonetown. The morning after, it's like he vanished into thin air. Not a clue, not a trace. No letters or anything that could have guided the search parties to a solution.
Do you know what he was working on in his final research?
I don't know. He always read a lot, basically all the tomes you can find in here. And sometimes at his request, I had to order books from other cities as well.
Do you know if he had enemies, maybe?
Henry? Let's be serious. I think there were very few men as affable as him.
Thanks for the information.
Don't mention it. If I can be of any more help, just ask.
I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when someone wants to benefit from the services offered by our library. What are you looking for?
Properties of concrete.
Oh, what a surprise! It's not among the more popular in Bonetown. I guess this is the second consultation in more than 10 years.
Doesn't it get the attention it deserves?
Here in Bonetown, people don't read a lot, especially a book like that. I could never have managed to face it either.
Where can I find it?
I guess it's somewhere on the upper floor. You should recognize it easily.
Thank you. How come all across Bonetown the gutters seem to be new?
They are new. There's been some geological instability in the last few years. We don't know yet if it's due to natural causes or human activity. In any case, the result is that Bonetown no longer has a working water network. And the only way to retrieve some water at a decent cost seems to be this one.
Whose idea was this?
Maybe the only person who really cares about the state of Bonetown, our Mayor Steve Bonnet.
What can you tell me about Steve Bonnet?
He's the only one here doing something to keep Bonetown alive. Without him, our village would be much worse off. I suggest you go visit him. He knows everything about Bonetown. If you need something specific, he'll be able to help you for sure. These days, he lives in the town hall to deal with all the city's problems. But he's always available to everyone.
Thank you. I'll visit him as soon as possible. What can you tell me about Steve Bonnet?
He's the only one here doing something to keep Bonetown alive. Without him, our village would be much worse off. I suggest you go visit him. He knows everything about Bonetown. If you need something specific, he'll be able to help you for sure. These days, he lives in the town hall to deal with all the city's problems. But he's always available to everyone.
Thank you. I'll visit him as soon as possible. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. This lock is peculiar, to say the least. I'm pretty sure that I'd need a special key if I wanted to open it. It seems to be a very old crate. How? Should I remove everything on top of it? There's no time. And above all, I wouldn't know where to put all these books. On this desk, there are books of every kind, from how to build a cuckoo clock to anchovy fishing for newbies. It's the famous book Properties of Concrete, the last book read by my father. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. How? Should I remove everything on top of it? There's no time. And above all, I wouldn't know where to put all these books. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. Better not ruin it. I need it for when I arrive at the library. What's that old crate upstairs?
It belonged to Charles Teach, a great-great-grandfather of mine. Many years ago, we opened it with the help of a locksmith, but it was empty. Then the key got lost again, and nobody has any interest in it anymore. Maybe the locksmith has a copy of it somewhere. I never feel like throwing it away. It's still a family heirloom after all.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. It wouldn't be nice if I took the only street sign for the local museum. I have a strong feeling that if I did it, I'd put the entire town economy in danger. And Bonetown doesn't seem like it's experiencing its golden age. It says to follow the arrow to access the museum. I didn't know that Bonetown had a museum too, especially a museum in this obscure alley. I understand that copper has become precious, but I don't think it'd go unnoticed. It looks like it was installed recently. I don't think that dragging this barrel of over 100 liters would benefit me a lot. They're barrels filled with water. Menu of the day: chicken, or chicken and salad, or chicken, salad, and cheese. While for drinks, there's only grog. If I had to guess, there are more than 100 chicken dishes. I may be wrong, but I think the owner specializes in cooking chicken every possible way. I don't see how the complete menu of the One-Eyed Jack would help me. I don't need it. One-Eyed Jack Restaurant. The name is catchy, the sign much less so. I don't know what's worse, the chicken wings used as bones at the sides of the skull, or the general state of the sign. Everything here is going to the dogs. I wonder what happened to the city. It wasn't always like this. It's like an ancient artifact. In poor condition, touching it would surely mean damaging it, even though time has already done its part. I don't think there are any books here. Even if it's battered,